Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Chad's YouTube. I'm here with my sweet mother, my innocent sweet mother. Hey, not you! The Senny Holmes and boy.
The very Japanese joke there.
Yeah, very Japanese. And also with Daniel, who's a comedian, influencer, tennis player.
Oh.
You do play tennis, right?
As a hobby.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was part of who I am now, but sure.
It's part of who I am.
Yeah, my mom's a tennis player too. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, she's really into tennis. So, anyway, today I wanted to bring these two together because, well, obviously different ages, but I wanted to talk about how in the United States or in Western humor in general,
Right.
sex jokes are pretty accepted no matter who you are or what age you are. Some people don't like them.
You got your mother and me together to talk about sex jokes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
All right.
Anytime, bro.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so let me ask my mom, and you don't have to be cool or like say what I want you to say.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that sexual humor is funny?
I love it.
Yeah. I think a lot of the humor I got was from you, but like, why do you think that's funny? Do you think it's like other people your age think that's funny, or?
My friends don't think that's funny.
Okay, so then there's.
not what I think is funny. No.
Okay, so my mom's just
Or
crazy.
at
My
least,
mom's just.
no, or maybe they pretend that they think that it's not funny.
Yeah,
They think that way.
But we've had
Yeah.
friends your age that thought it was funny, like my dad, or.
Oh well, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about your parents?
Oh, yeah. They love sex jokes.
Yeah. Why do you think sex jokes are so prevalent in the United States or Western humor?
Because I think Americans are less open about their sexuality than Japanese people.
You think so?
Yeah. Americans get shy being naked around each other.
That's true.
That's true.
And I think to hide or mask that a little bit, they tend to tell a lot of jokes using it. Where in Japan, they're cooler being naked around each other. So maybe they don't see it as like an area to joke with as much.
Let me add on, and you might say the same thing. We're, originally a Christian culture. So saying something that's against the rules is what makes people laugh, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
That's-
is that what you were going to say, or?
No, what I was going to say is I think that people like to laugh at things that embarrass them.
That's true.
And I can't speak for Japanese people because I'm not Japanese, but it's more taboo to make sex jokes in Japanese.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas saying sex jokes in America is cool, although not everybody would think they were funny.
That's really interesting because there's an aspect of American humor where it's awkward and being embarrassed is funny. That's why like Borat, like things like Ali G or
Yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen or Jackass or like it's like
Totally.
the awkward or like just
The-
being embarrassed.
Right.
They don't have that in Japanese humor. Like if you embarrass an audience member, they'll probably be mad. But in a lot of American stand-up, comedy,
The
they'll
whole
like
Purpose is
yeah,
to embarrass them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think getting the just a normal audience member or someone who's not part of your shtick or your act involved, they don't like that aspect of it so much. The Japanese people will think about them.
What do you mean?
So like Borat is around normal like civilians, right?
Yeah.
And also if you do stand up, maybe you pick on someone in the audience. The Japanese mind is so thoughtful that they'll put themselves into that audience. They can't watch as the third person just like to enjoy it.
That's really interesting.
They'll think about being in this person's like, oh no, this person
And-
feels awkward
And
or
feel
like
uncomfortable for them.
yeah, they'll feel like sorry and uncomfortable for them. So it's harder for them to laugh. I feel like where we just disassociate and kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, this is hilarious.
That's really interesting. I never thought about that before,
Maybe.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because in the 90s there was a phase when it wasn't cool to make sex jokes. Do you know about that, kind of?
I thought it was always cool.
Well,
there was a
everyone wanted
Uh-huh.
a Seinfeld. Like, everyone wanted to have their own show on TV, so, like, a lot of clubs weren't allowing sex jokes. In the 80s, it got crazy because there were people like Andrew Dice Clay or, like,
Oof.
yeah. But then it kind of toned down, and then in the 2000s, or late 90s, it kind of went back up, and now it's crazy, right? Like, Ali Wong, right?
Mhm.
The comedian, she's, like, does a special while she's pregnant talking about sex and, like, STDs and stuff. which was huge on Netflix. You know.
One of my favorites is Full House in Japan is ultra popular, right? It's like for the Japanese person, like the stereotypical American family.
Yeah.
But they don't know Bob Saget as the stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And how many
Bob the pervert.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
He does those like drug jokes, like sex jokes.
Very funny guy.
So we watch it through that one more layer of him being like this
Yeah, actually,
like normal dad,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
makes it funnier for us.
so Japanese people don't know that background. That's why it's funny, because this guy who's totally crude, like off the hinges, says whatever he wants, is behaving as the dad. Yeah. There's
awesome.
a joke called The Aristocrats. You
Okay.
know that joke? Never heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's not just Bob Saget. It's you have to say the worst thing you could ever possibly say. Like, that's the joke. So they would just get comedians to just go on and say the worst possible things they could say, and then it ends with like in The Aristocrats or something like that. And I'm pretty sure Bob Saget like won.
He
By,
wanted
like, just saying the worst.
I see.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our little talk about sex jokes and, you know, dark humor, I guess. It's just part of America. My 73-year-old mom laughs at movies like that. Of course, some people don't like it, but it's definitely more prevalent than it is in Japan. Would you agree with that?
Definitely more acceptable.
Would you agree, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I'll talk to you again. Bye.